Well, good morning. I'm reading from the book of Job this morning, and words are important. And to write those words down so that they can be read by later generations is what the Bible is all about. It's inspired by God. It's given to us as a gift, as a roadmap, as this is the Word of God. And Job, I think he understood and knew that he played a place in the record of God and in the revelation of God. Because he says in Job 19:23, "Oh, that my words were now written, oh, that they were printed in a book, that they were graven with an iron pen and lead in the rock forever." These words that Job is speaking are important for future generations of people so that they can understand that God is sovereign in our suffering, that He is at work even when we can't see Him, even when we don't understand what's going on in our life. God is at work. And not only that, but something else that Job knew, and you got to remember this book was written 2,000 years, give or take, before Jesus was born in Bethlehem. And he says, "For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that He shall stand at the latter day upon the earth." Job knew that he needed a Redeemer. He knew that he needed somebody to pay for his sin. And he knew that his Redeemer was alive. Don't make the mistake of thinking that Jesus has his beginning in Bethlehem, because He doesn't. Jesus has no beginning. He was before Bethlehem. Bethlehem was His incarnation. It's the time the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. But Jesus is His Redeemer. And Job says, "I know my Redeemer is alive." And not only that, but he says, "And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see God, whom I shall see for myself, and mine eyes shall behold, and not another, though my reins be consumed within me." Job understood the resurrection from the dead. He knew that death wasn't the end. He says, after my skin, worms destroy this body. After I die, they take this body, they put it in the ground, and the worms destroy it. Yet in my flesh shall I see God. That is speaking of a bodily resurrection from the dead. Job understood this. He knew that he wasn't going to remain in a disembodied, unbodied spirit form throughout all of time. That's not true. He knew there was life after the death, and he knew that that life was going to be in a resurrected body. Now that's pretty interesting to me, that he knew about a Redeemer and he knew about a resurrection 2,000 years before the time of Jesus Christ. It shouldn't be a great surprise to us that somebody who knew God like Job did and who was a righteous man would understand these things. And so he's bringing this up. He's reminding them. He says, "I'm going to see Him for myself." And that reminds me of 1 John chapter 3 and verse 2. The apostle says, "Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when He," that's Jesus, "shall appear, we shall be like Him, for we shall see Him as He is." Isn't that magnificent? Job said, "I know my Redeemer lives, and I know that after this body dies, I'm going to be resurrected, and I'm going to see Him for myself. He's going to stand on this earth, and I'm going to see Him." Job's going to be resurrected from the dead along with all true believers to have a new and glorified body, one that doesn't get sick, one that's not attacked by Satan the way that Job was, one that doesn't have to deal with all of the frailties and limitations that this earthly tent deals with on this earth. Job knew all of those things. And Job's bringing those things up for his friends. They're trying to comfort him, but really what he's doing is he's comforting them because he knows more about God than they do. And when it's all said and done, he's going to have to pray for them. Listen, I want to encourage you today. This life is not the end. It's just the beginning, and there's much, much more to come. And we have the promise of everlasting life through faith in Jesus Christ. If you trust Him, you will be resurrected from the dead. God bless you. I hope you have a great day.